Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Ready to unpack this week's Weekly Security Dossier.
Always a good time.
The December 6th edition. Man, this one's a roller coaster.
Yeah.
We got everything from a global cybersecurity report out of the EU
Oh, yeah.
to the return of our favorite holiday hacker.
Oh, nice.
Hashtag holiday bear.
I love it.
I know, right?
It's like a treasure chest of cybersecurity news and insights.
It really is. And this one's got me particularly intrigued by this story
Okay.
about malware being used against corrupt organizations.
Interesting.
It's kind of a fascinating ethical dilemma, but
Yeah.
we'll save that for later.
Okay.
I think first we should start with
Yeah.
the EU's first ever cybersecurity report.
Yes.
Something tells me this is a pretty big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is their first comprehensive look at the cybersecurity landscape across all the member states.
So all 27?
All 27, yep.
Wow.
And it's not just a data dump. They actually
Okay.
offer concrete recommendations for improvement. That level of proactive guidance is significant, especially coming from the EU.
So it's not just about pointing out problems. They're actually trying to guide improvements. What kind of recommendations are we talking about?
One that really stood out to me is their emphasis on public-private partnerships.
Okay.
The report highlights the need for governments and businesses to work together to share information and coordinate responses to cyber threats.
That makes sense. Cyber threats don't respect national borders, so why should our defense act?
Exactly. And this type of collaboration can help pool resources, expertise, and intelligence, leading to a more robust, unified defense against these, increasingly complex attacks.
Oh, so for our listeners out there, this means that cybersecurity is becoming more of a collective effort.
Yeah.
With everyone playing a part.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the EU is taking cybersecurity seriously. But what about this software supply chain attack?
Right.
At Solana Web3 JS NPM library? This one sounds like it could have a huge ripple effect.
It definitely could. This particular library is used by a ton of developers in the Solana blockchain ecosystem.
Right.
Over 400,000 weekly downloads, to be exact.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So in a nutshell, a software supply chain attack is like injecting poison into the well.
Okay.
Instead of attacking individual companies, hackers target a tool or library that many companies rely on.
So it's almost like they're going after the weakest link.
Exactly.
And hoping that it trickles down.
Yeah, the damage potential is massive.
So what happened in this case? Did someone accidentally download a virus?
Not quite. The attackers specifically targeted versions 1.98.6 and 1.95.7 of the at Solana Web3.js library.
Right.
And injected malicious code designed to steal private keys.
Private keys.
Yeah, think of private keys as the ultimate password to your crypto wallet. If someone gets their hands on them, they essentially have access to your funds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So anyone using those specific versions of the library could have had their crypto stolen.
Potentially, yes.
That's a scary thought. It makes you realize just how interconnected everything is these days.
It really does. And this attack underscores the importance of staying vigilant, keeping your software updated,
Right.
and understanding the security risks associated with the tools and libraries that you use, especially when dealing with something as sensitive as cryptocurrency.
Yeah, especially with like money and stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about this potential man-in-the-middle attack.
Okay.
The dossier mentions a compromised certificate authority.
Right.
That sounds like a nightmare scenario.
It's definitely a serious concern. To understand why, imagine you're sending a letter through the mail.
Okay.
You trust the postal service to deliver it securely, right?
Right.
But what if someone tampered with the mail truck and started intercepting letters, reading them, and even altering them before delivering them? That's essentially what a man-in-the-middle attack is.
So in this case, the certificate authority is like the postal service.
Exactly.
And the compromised CA means someone's tampering with the mail truck.
Precisely. Certificate authorities issue digital certificates that verify websites' identities.
Okay.
When you visit a website that uses HTTPS, your browser checks the certificate to make sure it's legitimate.
Right.
But if a CA is compromised, attackers can issue fake certificates, making malicious websites appear legitimate.
Oh, so you think you're going to your bank's website.
Exactly.
But you're not.
Right. So instead of being directed to your bank's website, you could end up on a fake site designed to steal your login credentials, and you'd never know the difference because the site would appear to have a valid certificate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the details of this potential compromise are still emerging on a Bugzilla thread.
Bugzilla thread.
Yeah, that's a platform developers use to track and report bugs.
Gotcha.
So we'll need to keep a close eye on this as more information becomes available.
Sounds like a reminder to always double-check URLs and be extra cautious about where we enter sensitive information online.
Absolutely.
All these attacks make me appreciate the work being done by researchers and security experts like you, who are trying to stay ahead of the curve and protect us from these threats.
Well, we're trying our best.
I appreciate it.
It's a constant game of cat and mouse, that's for sure. But that's what makes this field so dynamic and engaging. There's always something new to learn and new challenges to overcome. And that brings us to our next topic, the Crystal Ray Threat Actor,
Okay.
a group that's been making waves in the open source intelligence world.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What makes Crystal Ray different from other threat actors?
What's fascinating about them is they've honed in on exploiting vulnerabilities in open source platforms, particularly Confluence.
Okay.
Initially, they were using a tool called SSH Snake, but their operations have grown so sophisticated they've earned their own identifier, which speaks volumes about their impact.
So they're taking advantage of the open nature of these platforms to find and exploit weaknesses.
Precisely.
Confluence, I mean, it's a fantastic tool for collaboration,
It is, yeah.
but it's had its share of vulnerabilities in the past.
It has, yeah, which Crystal Ray has been capitalizing on.
So this is a reminder that even the most popular and widely used platforms
Yeah,
can have security gaps.
for sure.
And it underscores the importance of proactive patching and security audits for any organization that relies on open source software.
Absolutely.
We often think of open source software as being more secure because the code is publicly available
Right?
and scrutinized by many eyes, but that doesn't mean it's immune to vulnerabilities.
It doesn't, and sometimes the open source community can be slower to patch vulnerabilities due to its reliance on volunteers and distributed contributions.
That makes sense.
Yeah, this can create windows of opportunity for attackers like Crystal Ray to exploit these weaknesses before they're addressed.
Oh, so it's like a race against time?
It is.
Developers trying to patch vulnerabilities as quickly as possible, while attackers are constantly searching for new ways to exploit them.
Exactly.
Speaking of timely threats,
Yes.
it wouldn't be the holiday season without a visit from our favorite cyber Grinch.
Ooh.
Hashtag holiday bear.
Oh. I was going to say it. You're telling me it seems like they always make an appearance when everyone's busy with holiday preparations, adding a whole new level of stress to the season.
Yeah, so who's on their naughty list this year? Any ideas about their potential targets?
Details are still under wraps, but if we look at their past campaigns,
Okay.
they've typically gone after organizations that are particularly vulnerable during the holiday rush. Retail and e-commerce companies, financial institutions, even critical infrastructure providers.
Oh, wow.
Anyone who's likely to be operating at peak capacity with potentially stretched security resources.
So they know that people are going to be busy,
Exactly.
and they can take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's a prime time for them.
That's a sobering reminder that even as we're enjoying the festivities, cyber threats don't take a holiday.
Nope.
We need to stay vigilant and make sure our security defenses are up to par, especially with all the online shopping and financial transactions happening this time of year.
You got it. Exactly. It's easy to let our guard down during the holidays.
Yeah.
But attackers like hashtag holiday bear are counting on that.
Yeah.
They know that people are distracted and more likely to click on a malicious link or fall for a phishing scam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, enough doom and gloom for now.
Okay.
Let's shift gears and talk about something a bit more positive.
All right.
The rise of AI in detection engineering.
Okay.
The dossier mentions some interesting developments in this area, specifically referencing DART training materials.
Yes, this is a really exciting area of cybersecurity that's rapidly evolving.
Okay.
DART, which stands for Detection and Response Training, is a program developed by Google that teaches security professionals how to use AI and machine learning to enhance their detection capabilities. It's basically a crash course in using cutting-edge technology to combat increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks.
So how exactly can AI make detection engineering more efficient? It sounds a bit like science fiction.
It might sound futuristic, but it's becoming more and more practical every day.
Okay.
AI can analyze huge amounts of data, identify patterns that might indicate malicious activity, and even automate the creation of detection rules, which can be a huge time saver for security analysts.
So instead of manually sifting through mountains of data, security teams can leverage AI to do the heavy lifting and free up their time for more strategic tasks.
Precisely. AI can help security analysts filter out the noise and focus on the most important events, allowing them to respond more quickly and effectively to potential threats.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like having an army of digital security guards constantly monitoring your systems for any signs of trouble.
In a way, yes.
Okay.
But it's important to remember that AI is a tool, not a replacement for human expertise.
Right.
It still requires skilled security professionals to interpret the results, make informed decisions, and fine-tune the AI algorithms to ensure they're effectively detecting the specific threats their organization faces.
So it's not about AI taking over,
Right.
but about humans and AI working together to create a stronger defense.
Exactly. It's about augmenting human capabilities with the power of AI to create a more robust and proactive security posture. And this collaborative approach is becoming increasingly essential in the face of ever-evolving cyber threats.
Speaking of new developments, let's talk about Amazon AWS's new Security Incident Response Service.
Okay.
What's the buzz about this?
This is a major move by AWS, and it highlights the growing importance of cloud security.
Okay.
Their new service is designed to help businesses respond more effectively to cyber attacks in the cloud,
Okay.
reducing recovery time and minimizing the impact of an incident.
So it's like having a dedicated emergency response team on call in case of a cyber attack in the cloud.
That's a great analogy.
Okay.
The service provides access to AWS security experts who can guide businesses through every stage of incident response, from containment and eradication to forensic investigation and recovery planning.
Wow, that sounds like a valuable resource for businesses, especially those that might not have the in-house expertise
Yeah.
to handle a major cyber incident on their own.
It absolutely is. It levels the playing field, giving businesses of all sizes access to the same level of expertise and support that larger enterprises with dedicated security teams might have. And it's also a sign of the increasing competition in the cloud security market. Cloud providers are recognizing the need to offer more comprehensive security solutions to attract and retain customers.
Which is ultimately good news for businesses.
Right. Yes.
Competition drives innovation.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's leading to better and more accessible security solutions for everyone.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap things up,
Yeah.
I want to touch on the career and leadership tip of the week featured in the dossier.
Okay.
This one focuses on self-awareness and personal growth,
Right.
which might seem a bit out of place in a cybersecurity publication.
You know, I think it's incredibly relevant, even essential.
Okay.
Cybersecurity isn't just about technical skills,
Oh,
it's
right.
about people.
Yeah.
And people make decisions, design systems, and respond to threat. This tip emphasizes the importance of controlling our egos, embracing criticism, and not being afraid to ask for help.
Right.
Valuable traits in any profession, but especially in a field as complex and rapidly changing as cybersecurity.
Yeah, it's so easy to get caught up in the technical side of things,
Sure.
firewalls,
Yeah.
encryption, threat detection, all that,
Right.
that we forget that cybersecurity is ultimately about people.
You're absolutely right. It's people who are behind the keyboards, both the attackers and the defenders. And understanding the human element is crucial to building effective security strategies.
This week's tip really resonated with me, especially that part about controlling our egos,
Yeah.
in a field where there's constant pressure to be the smartest person in the room.
Right.
It can be tough to admit when we need help
Oh, yeah.
or when we've made a mistake.
Yeah, it's a challenge for sure. But embracing humility and being open to feedback is so crucial for growth, especially in a field that's evolving as rapidly as cybersecurity. The moment you think you know everything is the moment you become vulnerable.
That's such a good point. There's always something new to learn. And sometimes the best learning comes from recognizing our weaknesses and seeking help from others.
Absolutely. And building a strong team is all about recognizing that everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. It's about collaboration and supporting each other, not trying to prove who's the smartest person in the room.
Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the Weekly Security Dossier, I think the key takeaway is that cybersecurity is a multifaceted field. It's not just about technology, but also about people, process, and continuous learning.
I completely agree. And staying informed about the latest threats, vulnerabilities, and best practices is essential for anyone who wants to navigate this complex landscape.
So for you listening, here's a thought-provoking question to consider. How can you apply this week's career and leadership tip to your own professional journey, even if you're not in cybersecurity?
It's a great question to ponder. Whether you're a teacher, a doctor, an entrepreneur, or an artist, self-awareness, humility, and a willingness to learn are essential ingredients for success in any field.
They're the foundation for growth, resilience, and building strong relationships, both personally and professionally.
Absolutely. And never underestimate the power of asking for help. We all need it from time to time.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep diving deep into the ever-fascinating world of cybersecurity.
See you on the next deep dive.
Yeah, it's really about recognizing our own um,
Limitations.
limitations, yeah,
Yeah.
and being open to growth and learning from others.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the weekly security dossier, I think the key takeaway is that cybersecurity is a multifaceted field. It's not just about technology, but also about people, process, and continuous learning.
Couldn't agree more. Staying informed about the latest threats, vulnerabilities, and best practices is essential for anyone who wants to navigate this complex landscape.
So for you listening, here's a thought-provoking question to consider.
Okay.
How can you apply this week's career and leadership tip to your own professional journey, even if you're not in cybersecurity?
It's a great question to ponder. Whether you're a teacher, a doctor, an entrepreneur, an artist, self-awareness, humility, and a willingness to learn are essential ingredients for success in any field.
They really are the foundation for growth, resilience, and
Long relationship.
building strong relationships, both personally and professionally.
Couldn't agree more, and never underestimate the power of asking for help.
It's true.
We all need it from time to time.
Couldn't have said it better myself, so until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep diving deep into the ever-fascinating world of cybersecurity.
See you on the next deep dive.